the Special Advisor to Mr. Governor on Climate Change and Circular Economy, Mrs. Titilayo Oshodi, the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, Mrs. Faye Shayo Alayode, our dear distinguished partners, ranging from Deloitte to Access Bank to GIZ to Packham, FEDS, and of course, Employment Trust Fund. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as we embark on this transformative journey at the inaugural ESG Workshop of the Economy Business Network. This gathering is not just a milestone, it is a bold step towards shaping a sustainable, innovative, and inclusive Lagos state. The challenges that our world faces today: climate change, environmental degradation, economic inequality, demand action, not tomorrow, but today. In the bustling heartbeat of Nigeria and Africa, Lagos State has chosen to lead the charge. As this engine room of commerce, culture, and innovation, Lagos bears both the responsibility and the opportunity to set a global example in pioneering sustainability-driven. Is not just possible, it is profitable and transformative. This workshop, focusing on environmental, social, and governance principles and green financing, underscores our commitment to empowering the very backbone of Lagos State's economy. Our nano, micro, small and medium business enterprises, ESG principles are no longer a checkbox. They are a necessity for businesses to thrive in a rapidly evolving global market. Green budgeting, the MEPB vision. The challenges of our time: climate change, environmental degradation, and economic inequalities, like I mentioned. As the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, we recognize that our budgetary decisions are the bedrock upon which the circular economy and the sustainability agenda can flourish. Though, through green budgetary allocations and strategic appropriations, we are prioritizing initiatives that align economic growth with environmental resilience and social inclusion. In Lagos State, the budget has evolved beyond being just a fiscal instrument. It now serves as the strategic blueprint for implementing the Themes Plus agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the vision of climate-resilient cities. By embedding environmental, social, and governance considerations into the budget process, we are ensuring that every naira spent contributes to the building of a resilient, inclusive, and sustainable Lagos. Our focus extends beyond allocation to include cost functions that drive efficiency and optimize the use of resources, ensuring that our investments deliver measurable economic, environmental, and social returns. The economic component of the ESG, driving inclusive growth. While ESG is often associated with environmental stewardship and social responsibility, it is critical to emphasize its economic dimension. The economic pillar of the ESG, or more appropriately, EESG, is about driving inclusive growth, fostering innovation, and ensuring that the prosperity we create is shared across all segments of the society. Lagos State is home to a vibrant ecosystem of nano, micro, small, and medium enterprises, which form the backbone of our economy. These enterprises are not only job creators, but also catalysts for the innovation and resilience. The establishment of the Economy Business Network in May 2024 marked a significant milestone in our efforts to support sustainable economic growth. With over 500 eco-enterprises already benefiting from this initiative, we are witnessing firsthand how sustainability-driven business models can unlock economic opportunities while addressing environmental challenges. Where sustainability meets growth. As we explore ESG practices and green financing, let us remember that these are not just tools. They are the drivers of sustainable development. Entrepreneurs, you are the architects of the new Lagos. one that aligns economic prosperity with environmental stewardship and social equity. The role of government and policy. As a government, we are committed to creating a conducive environment where businesses can flourish through strategic policies, budgetary alignment, and capacity building initiatives. We are bridging gaps and fostering partnerships. The Office of Climate Change and Circular Economy continues to lead the way in this endeavor, ensuring that the transition to a circular economy leaves no one behind. A call to action. To the entrepreneurs and business leaders here present today, your journey is not without challenges. However, it is also filled with opportunities. By embracing ESG principles, you are not just building businesses, you are building legacies. You are the vanguard of an economic revolution that will place Lagos State at the forefront of global sustainability efforts. To our partners and stakeholders, your support is invaluable. Let us continue to foster collaboration, share knowledge, and innovate solutions that drive impactful change. In conclusion, this workshop is more than an event. It is a call to action. Together, let us create a Lagos where economic growth is synonymous with environmental preservation and social inclusion. Let us envision and work towards a Lagos that inspires the world, a Lagos that leads the charge for sustainable future. Thank you all very much. I wish us all a fruitful deliberation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lekan Balogun. He is the special advisor to the governor on economic planning and budget. Thank you so much, sir. One thing I will take home from your keynote address today is EBN Network. We are not just creating businesses, we are creating legacies. Please put your hands together for him again. Thank you. So I welcome you all again to the inaugural ESG Workshop organized by the Office of the Special Advisor to the Governor on Climate Change and Circular Economy. We are here to explore practical strategies and innovative ideas for driving economic growth through sustainability and circular economy principles. We need to start connecting the dots between sustainable practices and tangible business value while encouraging collaboration across our EBN network. So, without further ado, I would like to invite again my partner, Mr. Olumide, to introduce our first facilitator. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, before I do that, I just want to quickly check and understand our knowledge around the ESG. How many of us know what ESG is all about? How many of us? Please, let me see your hand, please. If you don't raise your, that means you don't know. Let's see your hand, please. Yeah, so for me, I'm actually here to learn and to understand the process. You know, during the keynote address and our special advisor to the governor on climate change, she actually emphasized on how we need to grow businesses, small businesses in Lagos. And it's very important for us to understand that there are three key things for me I think is very important in life: where we sleep, what we eat, and the clothes we wear. If you don't have those three things, how do you want to live? You know, and before you can get those things, you need to equip yourself with what? Businesses that can give you the opportunity. So today, I just want you to sit back and enjoy this workshop and make sure that the conversation of the ESG workshop is all about building capacity and creating businesses, right? You said creating legacy, which is very important so that the upcoming generation can understand that running small businesses will be very key. And we also have this QR. I don't know whether the ushers can help us to take there's a paper that you need to scan. Okay, you can scan from here as well so that you can get some of the workshop program and other key points. So please try to do that so that you are not left behind in this conversation. I just asked a question about what do we understand by ESG. From my own profession, I'm an environmentalist, I'm a climate activist, and I understand that we need to actually do businesses. You know, climate change is like a business now in the world. and everybody's trying to, from somebody said recycling is a lifestyle. I love what that brother said. And every business we are doing now, we need to start looking at the sustainability part of the business. And we start talking about what are the risks? How can we make sure that we curb that in this business? And what are the investment demand that a lot of companies are looking at? And how do we actually regulate the kind of pressure we are seeing in the economy presently? So we need to understand that all these things are the conversation that we are going to be having today. And thanks to the special advisor on climate change and the office for putting this workshop together. So I will be using this opportunity to call on Dr. Adebola and Dr. Kuzi. Dr. Adebola will be having a physical presentation for us, and Dr. Kuzi will be joining us online through Zoom, and they're going to be talking more about introduction to the impact of metrics and reporting tools. So please try as much as possible. If you are is it nano, if you are a small business, a small and scale business, try as much micro, medium. Yeah, I don't do business, I just make money. If you are part of that, please try as much as possible to engage yourself, because I'm sure Dr. Debola was going to be talking a lot around data capturing, and you can use data to influence your businesses. So please, let us welcome Dr. Debola as he takes us through the ESG 101. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you, sir. I know Mrs. O must have helped me to 15 minutes, but she knows I like to talk. But don't worry, this is not a talk shop.
Hi, Kuzi. Are you online, just to be sure?
you, depending on what stage you are in terms of, optimizing your business to be ESG ready. So you're not going to have to go and figure a lot of things out by yourself. It's just to know, how does it apply to me, and how do I get ahead? How do I get ahead of the game? Okay. I am laying some groundwork because we need to understand why I said it is profitable to be ESG compliant. Now, I'm sure we've all heard this fantastic thing at some point in time in some conference: carbon credits, plastic credits, all sorts of credits. Now, the global industry and the global developmental space understands that global south countries cannot be made to bear the burden of climate impact. We are still struggling with development and apportioning funds for the basic necessities. When you add climate impact into that, the increased frequency of flooding, you see the health impact that falls out from there, food shortages from food loss. All the knock-on impacts of climate change cannot be borne by that same budget that is still trying to develop the country. So the entire carbon credits ecosystem is a reward mechanism for being ESG compliant. So if you can demonstrate through accurately presented data that your business is positively impacting the climate, the quantum of that change can be measured and can be rewarded monetarily. So apart from the commerce of your waste, by being ESG compliant, you are able to attract funding at a cheaper rate, blended to your specification and your need, and you have extra revenue lines which come in Forex. So you are essentially sitting within the what I would call the holy trifecta of business. You want to be able to borrow money cheaply, access it in Naira, spend in Naira, and earn in Forex. And the pathway to being able to do that sits within the carbon markets. Now, just for this, sorry, can we have the slides back up? Don't worry, they don't need to see my face. Just keep it on the slides. So, where do you guys sit, in this room, in this broad ecosystem? So, I would like us to, look at the far right, where it says project developers. Please, if you don't take anything away from this today, as a nano, micro, small, NSME, your role in the whole carbon market infrastructure is as a project developer. You can acquire other realities, you can acquire other competencies, but your business should be geared as being a viable project in the carbon ecosystem. Now, there are also support tools that can help you to do that. And I mean, through the Office of the Special Advisor, these are the sort of products and values that you can gain, also by being part of the EBN network. So, all right. What do I need to do in my day-to-day? I'm collecting plastic waste, I'm collecting textile waste. What do I need to do in my day-to-day? Of course, my co-presenter will be speaking to some of the tools that you can use for easy data capturing, so I won't dwell too much on that. But, you are, or you will be required based on your business to provide certain details. Some of them you may have now, some of them you may not have. ESG is not only for established businesses. If you are seeking to set up a business now, even if you are not in the green space, it is viable, to make your business as ESG aligned as possible. And you'll find out that there are communication potentials across all of them. So you'll see that, there are specific examples, but when we go to another slide, you'll see a more detailed framework of what you might be needing to present, and it's not extensive. Okay, so what are the components? What are the components of ESG that you should look at? We've spoken about it. I took out the ESG first to say environmental. So what are your realities around resource efficiency? And resource efficiency means everything that is a resource to your business. You already know what you spend money on from your balance sheet. All right, and that's the reality of resources that you are buying. How are you being efficient with them? Waste reduction. Your business inherently, you may be collecting waste, but your business inherently generates waste as well. You know, how is that being managed? And of course, emissions, or are you using fossil fuel to power your business now? You know, those realities. Social, of course, we're looking at the workforce, the human component of your business, which is the most important. How are you treating them fairly and making sure that they are not being how do I put it? They are not being unfairly engaged. Governance is, you know, a lot of people, when they see governance, they try to leave it for government, but you have a set of rules and regulations and policies that drive your business. How are those aligned to making your business more environmentally and socially sound? And you can see I highlighted economic, you know, because that is where one of your greatest quantums of returns sits. You know, and that comes across from, you know, how much green commerce are you generating? Can you, my age-old fight with people in the eco space is silo operations. You know, the market is huge. The entirety of what we're doing in the recycling space is less than 6% of the waste generation potential. So there's 94% of the market share sitting down there unclaimed. We need to tap into it. Of course, I've spoken to the carbon markets and incentivization. So, I wouldn't dwell too much on this slides or on this slide, but this is just to help you understand that decarbonization can happen at any level, okay? And it is a journey. You need to understand, you know, the broad scopes of the emissions that you are generating, the broad scope of the waste. This speaks to the environmental side of things, you know, the impact of your business on the climate in itself. How much petrol am I burning in I better pass my neighbor? How much quantum of CO2 is that generating? How much waste am I generating from my food business? You know, how am I dealing with packaging waste? Am I dealing with it sustainably? Can I report it? So, Mrs. O, would these slides be shared? Okay, lovely. So the slides will be shared so you can digest this and on the EBN platform. So please join the EBN platform. Okay, don't let them see my face, please. Okay. Okay, my time is up. It's finished. Oh, wow. Okay. They said my time has finished. So I want us to maybe dwell on this a bit. You can see that this gives you a fair breakdown of some of the things you can look at within your business to immediately create that sort of reporting framework. Okay? Like they said, these slides will be shared. I'm sure there'll be a session where we can, you know, deep dive better. I didn't know I had 15 minutes, so I made way too many slides to try and give you value. We can speak about this, you know, at a later date, but it's just to help you understand how you're positioning your business. Do you want to be carbon avoidance? Do you want to be carbon removal? There are benefits for both, and you can be both at the same time, depending on the realities of your business. You can look within the, you know, 7 itemized businesses under each one and see how it applies to you. The benefits are clear. I think we've spoken to that a lot. I think the most important thing you want to take away is by becoming ESG compliant, you attract funding inherently, and you also make more revenue with lower overheads. So if you are attracting more money, reducing your fiscal expenditure, and improving your revenues, you generally become more profitable at the end of the day. So, I was going to talk to some companies that I've worked with or I'm working with on this journey already, who have already, you know, maximized green commerce and are now looking to go into that ESG space. But we'll skim over that. But let me drop this. Money is the quickest asset to green. If you have money sitting in your bank, it is one of the quickest ways to start decarbonizing, because if you change the direction of what you are buying or how you're engaging or how you're procuring, these are all things that can be reported, you know, in the E pillar of your economic, environmental, social governance realities. So, oh yeah, sorry, I was looking at that slide on here. So this speaks to that slide essentially. Yes, so in conclusion, what I will say is I've given you a very short, very condensed. If they leave me for 3 hours, we can have this conversation for 3 hours. But I just want you to understand that ESG is the gateway to profitability in this space. There is already a lot of support present in the global atmosphere, which is being distilled to the realities of businesses operating in Lagos through the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget. I'm happy that PS has joined us as well, Ma. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. So you can understand when two SAs and a PS are sitting, there is, serious meat on the bones. And you guys are the vanguard, essentially. You are the front line. You are the ones who are charting the course. And this is one space that Africa can genuinely dominate. So I will, park it here and hand over to Kuzi. Sorry, I've taken out of your time, my brother. Apologies. But Kuzi will walk us through. I've given us an idea of what ESG can do for us. The confidence that there's support, there's impact, there's outcomes. Now, in terms of tools that you can apply, he will walk us through the process of, or the available platforms or solutions, that you can look at your business through that particular lens, glean these values, have properly put together reports so that you are not running out of compliance necessities or due diligences are necessary. So, Kuzi, please, the floor is yours, sir.
Dr. Odunsi, thank you so much. That was very
Thank you.
insightful and a great help for me.
Please, before please, if you can, that's for the Q&A. Please try to send your questions through that so that we can collate them and send it to Dr. Adebola and Dr. Kuzi, yes. So, Dr. Kuzi, you have the floor. Please try to scan this so that we can move on. I just want to also quickly recognize some of the permanent secretary to the Ministry of Budget and Planning, Economic Planning, Yinka Modupe Ojo. Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming. We also have the representative of the Commissioner for Wealth Creation, Mr. Wale Thompson John. Thank you, sir, for coming. Yeah, thank you very much. Dr. Kuzi, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. It's 5:30 here in Hong Kong, but it's an absolute pleasure to join you all today. My name is Kuzi Chiramba, and I am the CEO and founder of a company known as TESE. TESE stands for
want to know if Mr. Akim is online, right? I think he said 10:45. Okay. Okay, so let's quickly go through. Let me just come to the audience, before we get those questions online or from the QR code. If you have any feedback, any contribution, or any question, please, can you raise up your hand? Let's see. For me, I have a lot of questions to ask Dr. Kuzi. Yeah, basically, sir, when you mentioned the word greenwashing, it's very interesting because how do you manage or how do you actually understand whether a company is actually greenwashing their ideas to make sure that they are not, affecting the environment? Because there's a lot of things going on in the world now. They are giving a little to the environment and they are taking more back from the environment. How do you explain that word greenwashing to a layman like me so that I'll be able to understand what I need to do day to day in my activity? Sorry, do we have any question from the audience? Nobody. Okay. I think we are still thinking about it. So let's come to if you have Mr. Akim, is he online? Okay, Dr. Kuzi, I think you can respond to my Dr. Kuzi, can you respond to my question, please, about the greenwashing?
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, there is a lot to be gained from saying that you're being sustainable, right? And so everybody's going to make a claim that we're doing XYZ initiative, which is having ABC positive impact. And the question is, how do you show that that is the case? In many cases, a lot of people don't know how to show that. So in many ways, it's a form of fraud if you're saying that you're being sustainable when you're not. And so the greenwashing here is essentially saying that you're being sustainable when you're not. And I think that has significant ramifications for your reputation. It has significant ramifications for potential legal claims that could be made against you because investors want to know whether you're really doing it. And it has significant ramifications for your ability to access financing because if the bank is going to give you financing for a specific purpose or to see that you might have reduced your emissions or energy consumption or water, they're probably going to do it at a cheaper interest rate. And if you're going to get that benefit, then you need to be able to show them how you're doing that. And on the platform, we've got a series of tools that we use in order to verify the data, including audits, just to ensure that there is no fraud happening on both sides of the equation. So greenwashing essentially is just saying that you're being sustainable when you're not.
Thank you very much. I think I'm still learning because, from the kind of thing I do, I just understand that our environment is important, very, very important for us. And if we want to actually take action, then we need to speak to the sustainability of the environment. Thank you so much. Let me quickly share this with you all. If you are here and you're on social media, please try as much as possible to tag OCCE_LASG on Instagram. And also, if you are not here or you want to share this workshop with your friends, your family out there, you can just send them the link to the YouTube, OCCE_LASG. That is the official handle of the Office of the Special Advisor to the Governor on Climate Change and Circular Economy, so that they can also learn and join us from anywhere across the world. So please, when you post, when you write or do something online, try as much as possible to tag that handle so that they can communicate and connect with us here. Thank you so much. I want to use this opportunity to also welcome the Deloitte Strategy Consulting team because I know we still have, we have 10 minutes and we have someone that needs to come by 11. So we have, yeah. So if it's possible, can we, because you just have 10 minutes, Do we have the team here? Deloitte consulting team? No, I'll call his name. Please. Okay, ma. How many minutes do you want us to give you, ma? Because I heard that you'll be leaving very soon. So, can you give us, do you want to
Recording stopped.
So we have somebody coming up by 11. After. Thank you very much. So I also want to use this opportunity. Thank you, ma. And the 11 o'clock is 11 to 11:15. That's it. So thank you very much. I also want to recognize Mr. Echezona Eziukpo. Am I right, sir? Yeah, he's the regional manager for Access Bank. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you very much for all the support, all the encouragement for small and medium scale businesses in Nigeria. Thank you so much. I just want to also use this to check with our media team, the OCCE team, if you have any question from online so that we can share it with Dr.
Recording
Adebola.
in progress.
Dr. Adebola, you need to come in. And let us bring it back to Lagos. You think, based on these small businesses that we have in Lagos, do you think the sustainability of those kind of businesses can actually improve the economy of Lagos State? And when you look at the ESG strategy, the economy, the social, environmental. Do you think capturing a strategy? Do you think this can actually, because with the kind of process we have now in registering, getting this done in the kind of space that we have, what do you think encouragement for small scale businesses in Nigeria? Thank you. In Lagos State, actually.
So I think Dr. Olumide is probably speaking. I know you are a doctor in now. Dr. Olumide is now speaking the mind of maybe 10 years experience, seeing things start, fail, people grow, people have difficulties. And like I said, the first thing that I came to the stage with was, I assure you it is profitable if it is done the right way. And really and truly, that is why we have sourced for tools that can make this as seamless a journey as possible. Now, you can sit down and gather all the tools that have been, compiled into that very nifty and very efficient platform. I mean, I encourage anybody to deep dive as much as you want into the information that goes behind it. But what I assure you is, working with the Office of Climate Change and Circular Economy, there is a wealth of business, technological, financial, and optimization support that is accessible. Also, to the greenwashing side of things, we are very, very conversant about this. And that is why you see, I think, both myself and Dr. Kuzi stressed the points around data. We know that we're all brilliant, and maybe I should start from what greenwashing is. Essentially, is telling fibs on your reports. That's what it is. I saved 2,000 tons of CO2, but if we check it, we can't find it. All right? There are repercussions to them that you do not want your business to face. It is best you scale organically and there's the value in the ecosystem approach as well. I'm very happy that Oga Friday Oku is here. We have been discussing about the Waste Speakers Association becoming a cooperative as well. So the EBN as well is being registered as a cooperative to make sure it is bankable. And what that means is you can each donate your effort. If your business is doing 2 tons of CO2, that can be aggregated through that cooperative structure and can be traded as a bulk. And the same way they share dividends, you know, you buy shares, they give you dividends. If you bought 1 share in the company, if it's 2 naira that is your dividend, you will collect 2 naira. So it is also a performance bonus to make sure that, you know, you are optimizing and supercharging your businesses. And once again, the tools to help you all the way through, the support to help you all the way through lies within the Economy Business Network. So if you have not joined, we enjoin you. There are a lot of benefits that we may not be able to speak to extensively at this conference because it's a conference in of its own. So join. The tasting is in the pudding. There's a lot of value on the table, and as an SME, you will be missing out on a lot if you are not in there. So thank you very much. If there are any other questions, please feel free to grab me at any point in time, and I will answer them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adebola. Thank you for that. And I'm very sure that for us that we are based in Lagos, we'll be able to understand that the ecosystem that we are in now with this conference is going to help us to understand how to run small business and how to grow those businesses. I just want to use this opportunity to actually, we have 2 minutes for Dr. Hakim. I don't know if Dr. Hakim is online. Media? Oh, perfect. So I have Dr. Hakim, and Dr. Hakim is going to be spending at least, I think, 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so. Is going to be talking to us on policy guiding the structure and management of a cooperative. I'm very sure most of us here are ready to learn from Mr. Hakim Onosoya. So please, and he's going to looking at the social enterprise, cooperative, and integration. So Mr. Hakim, we just want to hear whether you can hear us. Can you hear me? Mr. Hakim.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you.
Can you hear me
much,
clearly?
sir. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much. And please, immediately, Mr. Hakim, we're going to be having the dealer strategy team to also be sharing with us on some financial sustainable plans. So thank you very much. Dr. Hakim, you have the floor. Everybody's doctor now.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody can hear me clearly. Apologies that I'm not able to make it down physically. It was almost going to be a deal breaker, but we had to find a way thanks to technology. Greetings to the special advisor to the governor on climate change and circular economy. Thank you for the great work that you're doing. I can see my former boss, who still remains my boss any day, anytime, the executive secretary of LSCTR, Mrs. Felicia Yalayande. Good morning, especially. It's nice to see you again. I wish I was around to greet properly. So for the next few minutes, we will be talking about what a cooperative is and how it is important for social enterprises, especially in enterprises that are in the green economy and also the circular economy, and what are the policies, governance structures that guide it, and how green businesses, can maximize the values in it. Let me start with, I wish I can see the room, but let me assume that everybody is with me. I mean, for people who have seen this popular movie on Netflix, Lishabi by Adedimeji Latif, remember that at the point in that movie when Latif Adedimeji as Lishabi himself was trying to galvanize the youth, they did something very interesting. All of them had their individual farms, and they took it as their life's work. But at some point, an idea came, and the idea was, can everybody help one person to farm? And then when they are done, they go to the next person. So that at every point in time, the individual harnesses the power and what you call it, the power and the resources of the collective without having to pay for that collective. And now, what they did there, unknown to them, is what a cooperative system is about. It is an organization of like minds. Now, like minds can be any like minds. Like minds can be staff of an organization. Like minds can be members of an artisan network. Most of us remember cooperatives, most importantly, when we think about our parents and how they were able to afford our school fees and how they were able to buy appliances in the house and how they were most especially able to buy food stuffs in bulk. But cooperatives also extend to business organizations. And when these organizations come together, one, we've established that they have similar interests. Initially, they were young farmers who harnessed the power of the collective. But one thing that they are coming together to achieve is something of mutual benefit, which is what we are trying to achieve is something that everybody's also trying to achieve, which is efficiency in farming and clearing their respective what do you call it, their respective lands. So a cooperative is an organization, most importantly of like minds. But today we'll be talking about it in relation to business organizations. Now, what happens in the cooperative? Why do we even have this? Three things. One, resource pooling. Two, risk sharing. And three, knowledge sharing. Now, these three things are important because resources are scarce and one has to be strategic and efficient to be able to harness them. Most especially because in the social enterprise space, even if you now go down into the green space, it's an emerging space, especially in this part of the world, which means that the resources are available to typical small businesses, to SMEs, are not readily available or fit the uniqueness and complexities of green businesses. So it means that resources are even smaller than expected, which means each again calls for a bit more strategic efficiency in getting them. Now, what it means is going via a cooperative means that we are putting our resources together. And an example of putting resources together is for let's look at a community of recyclers. And there is a cooperative of recyclers. One thing that recyclers always need is a very large scale recycling what do you call it, equipment that can take the used clothes, the rubbers and the like, and then produce something beautiful out of it. Now, one thing is very clear: it's financially difficult for one entrepreneur who is just starting or has been doing this for less than 5 years to get that amount of money that is needed to buy that machine. Now, imagine if 20, 30 of them came together, put resources together, and buy one, and everybody can use it. Because if one person had bought it, does he even have enough input to be able to maximize that equipment or machinery? But coming together, putting resources together, can buy that, and the maintenance is spread